Good morning, friends. Myself is K. Pradeep Kumar, working as Assistant Professor in Mechanical Engineering Department in MER College of Engineering and Technology. Today in this lecture, we are going to discuss about the boiler accessories. In the previous classes, we have discussed about boiler mountings and its working principles. And in this lecture, we are going to know about the boiler accessories and the working of the boiler accessories. See here, these are the some of the accessories which we are having here, named as feed pump, economizer, air preheater, superheater, steam separator, injector, and so on. In this lecture, we are going to know about feed pump, economizer, air preheater, and the remaining three we are going to study in the next video. See, coming to the first accessory is about feed pump. We already knows how the feed pump is useful in power plants for feeding the water into the boiler. See, coming to the feed pump is used to force the water into the boiler. We already knows that how the feed pump uses near the boiler for feeding the water into the boiler. Since the inside pressure of the boiler is high, the water should be pumped to a considerable pressure about that of boiler. See here, in the boiler itself, we are having some pressure. The water which we are pumping into the boiler or which we are feeding the water into the boiler should be boiler water, feeding water. The water which we are feeding into the boiler, the water pressure should be more than that of the boiler which is inside the boiler. See, it is essential to use a feed pump because the quantity of water supplied should meet amount of water evaporated and supplied to the engine. As we are feeding the water into the boiler, see the feed water is used to convert into the steam. As the steam is going to evaporate, we need to feed excess amount into the boiler. Means we need to continuously feed the water into the boiler. For that, the feed pump is required for continuous process or continuous feeding of water into the boiler itself. And basically, we are having two types of pumps which we are feeding. How we are going to feed the water into the boiler means we are having two types of pumps, namely reciprocating feed pump and rotary feed pump. Coming to here, reciprocating feed pump consists of a cylinder and a piston. The piston displaces water as it reciprocates inside the cylinder. See here, reciprocating feed pump, we already know and we have observed in the lab itself how the reciprocating pump works. See, the reciprocating feed pump consists of a cylinder and piston. See, the piston displaces water as it reciprocates inside the cylinder. When the piston is going to be reciprocate or oscillates inside the cylinder, it is going to displaces the water. The reciprocating pump may be of two types. Here we can observe in a single acting pump and double acting pump. The single acting pump are continuously run by steam from the boiler to which water is to be fed. See here, the single acting pump as well as double acting pump, both the pumps are used to feed the water continuously to run by the steam from the same boiler. See, coming to the rotary feed pumps are of centrifugal type and are commonly run either by a small steam or by an electric motor. See, we can observe here that the rotary feed pumps are going to rotate by using of the electric motor as well as by using of a small steam turbine. The duplex feed pump means I have said you here that the reciprocating pump is of two types, a single acting type and a double acting type. See, the single acting type which is used in rotary feed pumps and the double acting pumps are used in the duplex feed pump. Double acting reciprocating feed pump is nothing but of a duplex feed pump. In these pumps, there are two simple engine cylinders placed side by side. We are using the simple engine cylinders. We are having two simple engine cylinders here, which are placing side by side, and the pressure of steam acts directly on the piston to pump the water. Here, the steam which we are converting is having some pressure. The pressure is directly acts upon the piston to pump the water to upon the piston to pump the water here. Each pump has one steam cylinder and a water cylinder, which is about the reciprocating pumps and single acting pump as well as double acting pump. See, coming to the next accessory is about the economizer. See, we can observe what is meant by economizer. In the previous classes, I have told you about the economizer, how it works, and what is the use of the economizer in the boiler. See, it is used for recover some heat from the exhaust gases. See, when we are feeding the water into the boiler is used to convert the feed water into steam, and after the combustion has been taking place in the boiler, see, some hot gases are going to be produced. The hot gases which are going to be produced are sent into the turbine. The some of the steam is sent into the turbine for getting some work output, and the waste heat which is going to be developed there is going to be exhaust into the atmosphere. The waste heat which is generated there is used here in the economizer, and it recovers some of the heat from the waste heat, and it is going to use to convert here it is used for the recover some heat from the exhaust gases. Means nothing but of some heat we are recovering here from the waste gases, and we are using here for the other purposes. This heat is used for raising the temperature of feed water. See here, what is the heat which we are extracting from the what is the gases which we are extracting or which we are taking from the exhaust gases is used for raising the temperature of feed water and being supplied to the boiler, thus increasing the efficiency of the plant and save fuel consumption. Like this, we are going to save the fuel consumption here, and we are going to improve the efficiency of the plant. This is what the use of the economizer in the power plants. See here, the use of the economizer is to what are the exhaust gases which are appearing into the atmosphere. From that gases, some of the heat is taken by using of this economizer, and converting or using this heat for raising the temperature of feed water being supplied to a boiler, and hence we are going to increase the efficiency of the plant, and we are going to save fuel consumption. Here we can observe the diagram of an economizer. Here we are having water inlet, means water is going to be entered into this pipe, and see here, the water is going to fill in these pipes in the vertical way. We are having some tubes here. You can observe here the tubes. The water which is going to be entered into this sewage chamber or into this inlet valve, the water which has been entered here in this valve is going to be entered into the tubes which are placed here, which is nothing but of a scraper. See here, these are going to be in these tubes, the water is going to be entered here, and in the perpendicular direction of these vertical tubes, the hot gases are going to flow. The hot gases are used to move in the horizontal direction, which acts perpendicular to that of the vertical pipes. See here, when the gases, hot gases are moving around the tubes, the water inside the tubes are going to heat, and we are going to get here the steam, and the water is going to be converted into the steam. And this is the water outlet which we can observe here. See, these are the scraper. These are the scrapers. The black colored part is nothing but of a scraper. See, these scrapers are used to remove the dust particles, are used to remove the scale formation inside the tubes. See, these scrappers are used to move in up and downward direction by using of this pulley or gear. These scrappers are connected with the pulley or gears. Here the scrappers are connected with the pulley and gears. When the pulleys are used or gear is used to rotate, these scrappers move up and downwards inside the tubes, and these scrappers are used to remove the dust particles, whereas the scale formation and the mud inside these tubes. See here. And the water which is flowing with the the water which has been converted or heated, here hot water is going to be entered into the water outlet here. This is what we can observe here in the diagram. It is going to be entered here. This is the working principle of an economizer, which one can observe here. So here, coming to the function of an economizer is a device in which the waste heat of the flue gases is utilized for heating the feed water. See, I have told you what is meant by an economizer. Once again, I am going to remember or wants to tell you about an economizer, that the economizer is a device in which the waste heat of flue gases, when the flue gases are developed, see, when we are going to do the combustion process, some flue gases are going to be generated. See, the flue gases which are used to go outside, exhaust outside the atmosphere. From the flue gases, we are going to exhaust the waste heat, and it is utilized for heating the feed water. We can observe here, this is the entry of the water. This is the pump, and by using of this pump, we are feeding water through this pump and sent into an economizer. Here, the economizer working principle is that the economizer is used to collect the waste heat from the flue gases, and it is used for heating the feed water. See here, it is the economizer is connected to the boiler here. Means in the boiler we are having feed water. For heating of this feed water, the economizer is used to get the waste heat from the flue gases, and it is used for the heating of the feed water. For combustion process, here in this boiler we are using coal as well as air also. The air is going to be entered in from this side, and inside we are feeding the coal inside the boiler here, and after combustion has been takes place, the ashes are going to be taken out, and it drops into the ash pit. See here, from the boiler, at one place the steam is going to be placed, and from the other side the exhaust gases are moved into the atmosphere. What are the exhaust gases which are moving out into the atmosphere? From the exhaust gases, the economizer is going to collect the waste heat, and it is used for again it is used for utilizing the heating of the feed water. This is the function of an economizer here. And coming to here, we can observe the construction of these economizer. As I have shown you in the previous diagram, that we are having some tubes here in the horizontal vertical direction. The flue gases are moved in the horizontal direction, which are perpendicular to that of these tubes. See here, we already studied in the previous diagram that the feed water is going to be entered into this tube. Here feed water in from this horizontal pipe, the feed water is going to be entered into inside of this pipe. Means this is nothing but of header. We are naming this pipe as the header A. The water is enters into this header A, and see these one end of this vertical tube is connected to the header A, and the other end is connected to the header B. See, we can show here that this is the header B. Means one end of the vertical tube is connected to the header A, and the other end is connected to the header B. See, the water which is the feed water which is enters into the tube will flow due to the density. Here this water is flows upward in the direction of these tubes. When the water is moving in the upward direction, the flue gases will flow in the horizontal direction, in the forward direction. In horizontal way, in the forward direction. Moves forward in the horizontal direction. See here, when the flue gases are moving in the forward direction, the water in the tubes are going to be heated, and the hot water or the steam which has been generated is entered in the see here in the steam, where we are going to collect the steam in the upper part of this boiler. See, we can observe here, this is a scrappers which is used for removing the scale or mud sedimentations in the tube itself. And the flue gases are out here. The flue gases coming in, and it is going to be out here. These are the water pipes. In these pipes, the water is going to be circulating. This is the feed water, and this is here we are having the safety valve, which is used for controlling. Actually, in the previous classes, when we are studying about the mountings, we have studied about the safety valve and the stop valve, and this is the chain and gear arrangement system which is used here in this economizer. See here, figure shows an independent typical vertical tube economizer here, vertical in the vertical direction. It is employed for boilers of medium pressure range up to about 25 bar. This economizer is used for the medium pressure range boilers, and it consists of a number of vertical cast iron. See, what are the water pipes which we are having here is in the vertical position, and these pipes are made up of cast iron or steel water pipe, and one end of vertical pipe is connected with the horizontal pipe A, header A, and the other end with horizontal pipe B, means nothing but of header B, as shown in the figure. This is the construction of an economizer here. And coming to the working principle, I have showed you in the previous diagram about the working principle that the feed water enter into the economizer through bottom pipe. See here, the feed water is going to be entered here from here. From bottom pipe, the water comes into the top pipe B. See, from the bottom here, from the bottom horizontal pipe, the water is going to be entered up to the header B, up to the top header B. See here, in the top pipe B through vertical pipes, and then comes into the boiler, and then after it comes into the boiler. The flue gases flows around the pipes in the direction opposite to the top flow water. See here, the flue gases are moving in the forward direction around the pipes in the direction opposite to the top flow. See here, we can observe here in the diagram. Consequently, heat transfer to the surface of the pipe take place, and water is thereby heated. The water which is flowing inside the pipes due to these flue gases passing away through these tubes, the water which is inside these water tubes are going to be heated. The heated water is supplied to the boiler from stop valve. By using of the stop valve, the feed water is going to be supplied to the boiler. The soot of flue gases deposited on the pipes reduces efficiency of economizer. Means nothing but of the scale or sedimentation which are forming inside the tubes are used to reduce the efficiency of the economizer. To prevent the soot deposit, The scrapers move up and down by chain and gears to keep the external surface of pipe clean. See here, we can observe here the scrappers moves up and downward direction to remove the sedimentations which has been formed in the pipes by using of the chain and gear arrangement. See here, a blow of cork is provided at the back end of vertical pipes to remove sedimentations deposited in the bottom boxes. Hence, the scrappers are used to collect the sedimentation which has been formed in the tubes and it leaves in the near the chute chamber, means nothing but of a blow of cork near at the bottom of the boiler. See here, the blow of cork which is placed at the bottom of the boiler is used to collect all the sedimentation which has been sent by the scrapper, and it will take away by using of this blow of cork. Bypass arrangement of flue gases enable to isolate or include the economizer in the path of flue gases. This is what the working of an economizer which we can observe here. Coming to the advantages of the economizer, higher feed water temperature tend to reduce boiler thermal stresses, so life of boiler is going to be decreased here. See here, higher feed water temperature, when we are going to feed higher water, tends to reduce boiler thermal stresses and so life of boiler is increased here. Economizer utilized waste from flue gases, so fuel consumption of boiler reduces. See, by using of this economizer, the fuel consumption is going to be reduced in the boiler. Increased evaporative capacity of boiler. See that we are having one disadvantage, that economizer placed at passage of the flow of the flue gases. So pressure drop take place of flue gases, loss draft. We are going to lose the draft here when we are going to place the economizer at the flow of the flue gases. These are the some of the advantages and disadvantages of an economizer. See, coming to the next, see here, coming to the next boiler accessory. Then next accessory is about air preheater. Means we are preheating the air again. See, these are waste heat recovery device. Means this is also one of the accessory which is used for collecting the waste heat. These are waste heat recovery device. This is also the waste heat recovery device in which air on its way to furnace is raised in temperature by the help of flue gas. By using of the flue gases, it is used to raise the temperature in the furnace itself by using of this air. See, we can observe here, when the flue gases are moving in the downward direction, the cold air is going to pass outside. Means the cold air is enters into the air preheater. Then when the flue gases are moving in the perpendicular direction to that of cold air, here the air preheats and sends out the hot air outside. This is what about the air preheater, how it preheats the air in this diagram. See, coming to here, we can observe the air preheater tubes. In these air preheater tubes are used for flue gases. See here, the flue gases are coming inside here, moving in this horizontal direction. See here, the cold air is entering here inside, and when it is going to deflect along these pipes, the water inside the flue gases inside these pipes, due to these flue gases, the cold air which is passing around these tubes is going to get heat exchange. The heat exchanges takes place in between the air as well as the tubes. Means the flue gases are going to be passed here. Inside the tubes, the flue gases are passed. See here, and the water circulating or air circulating around this is going to be heat, and we are going to set hot air out. See here, this is the plate air preheater. See here, in these air preheater, plates are used for flue gases. See here, flue gases is entering inside of these plates, and we are going to get out the hot air outside. When the flue gases are inside, see the flue gases are enters into these plates and exist here. The flue gases are going to exist out. Means the cold water is entering in between these two plates and going to take away the hot heat which is placed in between these plates, and see hot air is going outside. This is what about the plate air preheater, which we can observe here. See, coming to here, we can observe again the function of air preheater is nothing but of air preheater increase the temperature of air before it supplies to the furnace. See here, air preheater increases the temperature of air. Air preheater, here we are using the air preheater. The air preheater which we are using increase the temperature of air, means it is going to increase the air which is passing inside the boiler. By using of this air preheater, the air is going to increase the temperature of that air, and it is supplying into the furnace from the flue gases passing through the chimney. See here we can observe the diagram that the water is entering into the boiler by using of this pump, and the water is the hot flue gases, which are exhaust gases are there. These are going to be entered into the air preheater, and again the air which is passing into the boiler by using of these hot gases which are coming from the boiler is again used here in the air preheater, and preheats the air which is going to be entered into the boiler. See here, for burning of the for converting here the feed water into the steam, here we are using the coal and air. For the air which is entering into the boiler is heated by using of this air preheater, and the exhaust gases which are coming out is converted to sent into the air preheater for preheating the air here. The preheated air is sent into the boiler. See, this is what about the function of the air preheater, and this is the construction of an air preheater which we can observe here. That air preheater is installed between economizer and the chimney. See, the air preheater which we are observing here is placed in between the economizer as well as the chimney. It consists of large number of tubes which arranged in path of flue gases shell as shown in figure. See here, we can observe here the number of large tubes. These are the number of large tubes which are placed in path of flue gases. See here, hot flue gases enters into the tube from top of shell and leaves from the bottom of the chimney. See here, the flue gases are going to be entered into these tubes. See here, from these is the entry of the flue gases which enters into the tubes, and hot flue gas enters into the tube from top of shell. From the top of the shell, the flue gas enters into the tube and leaves from the bottom of the chimney. See here, at the bottom of the chimney, at the place of the chimney, flue gases to chimney, means from here the flue gases are entered into the chimney. The inlet air at room temperature is admitted into shell at lower end with the help of the fan. The inlet air at room temperature is admitted. Here the air, what is the air which we are passing into this chamber is nothing but of the room temperature. With room temperature we are sending the air into this section. See here, is admitted into shell at lower end with the help of the fan. By using of the fan, the air is going to be entered into this shell, and here the air passes upward around the tubes in opposite direction to the flow of hot flue gases. See here, when the hot flue gases are moving here, the air is going to move around these tubes, and it is going to exhaust the heated air outside. Means When the flue gases are passing inside the tubes, see the air from the atmosphere is going to take the cold air is entered inside and takes away the heat from the from the pipes which we are having, collected the heat from these pipes, and the heat is going to be atmosphere. See here, the air passes upward the tubes, means it is moving in the upward direction here, in the opposite direction to the top flow of hot flue gas. Baffles are provided inside the air preheater. They increase the total path length of air and thus increase heat transfer. For heat transfer, the baffles is placed here inside of this. See here, the heated air leaves at the upper end of the tube bank, observing heat from the hot flue gas. See, this is the place where hot air can be extracted out. And the soot hopper provided at the bottom is used to collect soot during cleaning operation of the tubes. See, this is the soot hopper, means nothing but of what are the sedimentations which has been formed in the tubes are entered into the soot hopper. This is about the construction and working of air preheater. We are having some advantages and disadvantages. Preheated air increases combustion rate and then increases steam generator rate of boiler. Due to high temperature of air furnace, temperature of air furnace temperature increases, so low grade coal can be burnt efficiently. Air heated by heat of exhaust gases, it reduces fuel consumption. Therefore, thermal efficiency of boiler increase. Means here, air heated by heat of exhaust gases. When the air is heated by using of these exhaust gases, it reduces fuel consumption. We are going to reduce the fuel consumption and thereby thermal efficiency of the boiler is going to be increased, which I have shown you in the diagram. These are the some of the advantages why when we are going to use the air preheater here, and we are also having the disadvantages of the air preheater, that there are formations of clinker on the grate due to higher combustion temperature. See here on the grate, we are doing a combustion process. When we are doing the combustion on the grate, due to higher combustion temperature, the clinkers are formed on the grate. This is the sum of the disadvantage. And natural draft is not possible with air preheater because of temperature of the hot gases is reduced. See, natural draft is also not producing here because the temperature of gas is reduced. Also, pressure drop take place in the flow of flue gases. Here, the pressure also is going to reduce here. Thus, forced draft is required. Hence, we are going to require here the forced draft. This is some of the advantages and disadvantages of air preheater. And last one is about the superheater. We can observe here the superheater. Here we are having three valves, V1, V2, V3. And these are the headers. H1 and H2 are the headers. And these dots are nothing but a superheated steam. And this is the boiler. And this is the color which is in blue is nothing but of water. And these are the flue gases which are passing inside the pipe. See, this is the superheated tubes here. The U-tube shaped are nothing but of superheated tubes. See here the water. When the flue gases are flowing inside the tube, the water is going to surround around this pipe, around the tube or around the pipe, and it is going to exchange the heat from the flue gases to the water. The heated water is directly enters here into the disappears into the atmosphere, and here in the tube, and some of the water is going to be hot water is going to be, see here, after this water is heated, means when the flue gases are moving in the pipe, the hot water which is moving in the upward direction is going to exchange the heat from the flue gases to the cold water, and the water is going to be moved into the when the operation is going to take place, V3 is closed here. The valve V3 is closed and the working process takes place, that from this boiler, the feed water, the hot water is entered into this valve By using of this V1 valve, it is going to be sent into the first header, and from the first header it moves into the superheater tubes. See here, into the superheater tube. From the superheater tubes it enters into the second header, and from the second header the superheated, see the superheated steam is enters into the, by using of this tube enters into at the V1 valve 2, and it moves to the steam stop valve, and wherever the steam is required it sends from the V2 valve. And if whenever some damages are done for these tubes, or something has been happened for these tubes, it the steam which has been generated are directly super saturated steam are directly enters into this V3 valve. At that time the V1 and V2 are closed. As these tubes are damaged, the steam should not enters into this pipe. If the steam is going to be enters into this pipe, there is a loss of efficiency of the plant. There we get the efficiency loss. For that, the steam is directly enters into this V3 valve. From that V3 we are going to use, by using of the stop valve we are going to use the steam where it is required. This is what about the superheater. That the superheated means the saturated steam which has been developed is converted into the superheated steam by using of this superheater tubes. This is what about the superheater which we can observe. The main function of the superheater is that superheater increases the temperature of the steam above its saturation temperature by utilizing exhaust gases. Means in exhaust gases we are taking some part of the heat, and it is used for this saturation temperature by for increasing the temperature of the steam above its saturation temperature. The steam generated above surface of water is always wet. The steam which is generated above the surface of water is always wet. The main negative effect of supplying wet steam to steam turbine or steam engine are erosion of turbine blades pipes. Therefore, steam must be superheated before supplying to steam turbine or steam engine. See, we can observe here that the saturated steam cannot be supplied here because the steam generated above surface of water is always wet. Here, the steam which we are generating above the water, surface water is always wet. For converting these or for changing from wet to dry, see the main negative effect of supply wet steam to steam turbine or steam engine are erosion of a tube, turbine blades and pipes. There is some problem, erosion is going to take place in turbine blades and pipes, so that we need to convert these steam generated in the boiler to the superheated steam before supplying to the steam turbine or steam engine. See, we can observe the construction here. This is the water level, and what are, see here, a superheater is used in Lancashire boiler is shown in figure. This is the Lancashire boiler, and here this superheater consists of a set of superheater tubes in the form of U-tube. We can observe here the U-tube. We can observe here the U-tube. The set of U-tube is connected with main steam pipes through header. This is the main steam pipe. This is the main steam pipe which we can observe here. The U-tube is placed in the path of flows. See here. The amount of hot gases passed over the superheated tube should be in the portion to the steam passing through tubes and degree of superheat required. See here, the here from the flue gases will flow inside this pipe, and water is surrounding around this pipe. Inside this pipe, flue gases are moving in the forward direction, where the heat exchanges takes place in between the water as well as the flue gases, and the water is converted as supersaturated steam, and it is going to be entered. See here, when B and C valves are open, the A valve should be closed. A valve should be closed in the closed position because it does not enters into the A. See here, the from the boiler, see the flue gases is steam, saturated steam is going to be entered through this valve C, and it is going to be entered into the U-tube shape YouTube pipe. From the YouTube pipe means nothing but of a superheater. Here, these are the two headers. By using of these headers, these YouTube is connected here. The steam which is saturated steam which is collected here is entered into the YouTube shape, and here the gases are moving in the upward direction here, and it is going to be moves up to the place B. And if some steam, whenever the YouTube or somewhat inspection has been takes place, it is directly enters into this A pipe, and B and C are closed at that time. This is what about the construction of the superheater which we can observe here. This is the working, and we are having some advantages. Steam consumption of the turbine or engine is reduced. Erosion of turbine blades is eliminated. Condensation losses in cylinder and steam pipe are reduced. Thermal efficiency of the steam plant is increased. These are some of the advantages of the superheater. See, in this video, we have studied about the accessories of economizer, air preheater, and superheater. In the next classes or in the next video, I'm going to explain you about the steam separator and injector. This is what we have studied in this video. Thank you. If you are having any doubts, please call to me or mail to my mail ID. Thank you.